Då rullar vi. One is it's a red wine. It's has brilliant purple color, a little bit more in the core and the edges. There's medium intensity, medium viscosity. There's no sediment, there's no CO2 on the nose. Nose this wine is clean. It's we have little floral note of dried violets, more fresh fruit like dried fruit like dried cherries and raspberries. We have very much earthy note like sandy, like some turned earth, some lavender as well, a little bit herbal note, and some rosemary. We got some hint of baking spices, so it's a young wine that I think has been on oak. On the palate, this wine is clean, it's dry and still. Medium acidity, alcohol is medium. It's a medium body with fine tannins. Yeah, very fine tannins. They're not so grippy. We have medium intensity. We still get the floral note of lavender or violet. We get fresh fruit of cherries and raspberries. A little bit herbal note like lavender and rosemary. And we get some little bit earthy note. We got some a wet stone here. So we changed this now. I don't get any oak spices. So there's one that's young, has not been on oak. It's a good quality. It's definitely drinkable right now, and it's a medium length. But I can definitely see this wine be matured for 3 years. This is a wine from this is a wine from the from Spain. This wine is based on I will come back with that later. Wine number 2, it's a red wine. We have a deep intensity and moderate viscosity. It's a very bright color, and it's very dark in the core. It's a little bit of purple on the rim. There's no sediment, there's no CO2 on the nose. On the nose, this wine is clean. It's deep, high intensity. We got very much matured fruit of blackberries and cassis, a little bit hint of blueberries. We got some herbal note like lavender. Otherwise, we got some baking spices, vanilla, cedar oak, and some little bit of leather. So this is a wine that I think has been on oak. It comes from the oak on the palate. This wine is clean, dry, and still. We have high acidity. Alcohol is high. We have a full-bodied red wine with very high grippy tannins. We have a high intensity of flavor. We got a little bit of lavender in the background. Then we got some dried blackberries, cassis, and blueberries. We get more like herbal notes on the palate, like more rosemary and thyme, and as well we got some turned earth. We got more baking spices. Bacon spices like vanilla and some toasted oak note, which have some little bit note of leather in the background. And this is a young wine that's been on oak. It's a good quality. It's a long length, and it's drinkable right now. But I can definitely see this wine aged for 5 years. This wine is from France. We are in the Languedoc area. This wine is mostly based on Syrah, a little bit of Cabernet, and Grenache. It's a blend. It's the vintage 2018. For this wine, I will aerate this wine, and I would serve it in a Bordeaux glass at 8 degrees Celsius. I go back to the first wine. It's Mencia. It's from Bierzo in Spain. Possible producer will be Raúl Perez. This is a vintage of 2019. I will aerate this wine. I would serve it at Burgundy glass at 15 degrees Celsius. For that wine, I wanted to go with
Fördelade ju bra.
Ja, fast det är fan, alltså jag vet inte, jag stakar mig alldeles för mycket alltså. Jag tappar ju orden i skallen, ska jag säga så.
Jo, men det är ju... Ja.
Ja.
Har du stoppat videon?
Nej.